And good morning and welcome. Welcome to Wednesday. My name is Greg. And this morning we're going to be interviewing a character by the name of Captain Cork about the flat earth and why, according to Captain Cork, is the earth flat. Because, of course, in today's population, there is an unknown percentage that believes the earth is flat. Now, is this an important topic? I believe it is. I mean, on my last two projects, my both clients were flat earthers. Is that just coincidence, or is that showing me that people actually believe the earth is flat? So, one of my favorite characters is Captain Cork. And of course, Captain Cork is a flat earther. Captain Cork is an ancient sailor, navigator. He's also a modern day sailor, navigator, because of course he's a time-space traveler. Now, who exactly is Captain Cork and where did he come from? Captain Cork came upon the scene one day when I was out with my little boy Solomon, and we were on our fantastic adventures, and we were jumping through portals in the field, and it was quite fun. Now, Solomon has a very, very great imagination, and he came up with these characters, and it was Captain Cork and the first mate, Bornegas. Now, right away, we jumped through the portals and we became these characters, and the whole scene changed. We began to navigate these fantastic imaginary worlds where, we had access to all of the animals in the jungle. Anywhere in the world we wanted to go, we could go, like, in a flash. It was so much fun. So of course, we kept, that was one of our favorite imaginary games to play. And for me personally, as a human being, as a father, as a friend, as a brother, I learned so much from the innocence of children. They can teach us so much about, how to tap into these treasure troves of information that we wouldn't know otherwise, So here we're going to talk to Captain Cork, and I'd like to introduce this man. He is somebody who I enjoy talking with, and just because he's full of unexpected information. Where he comes up with it, I just have to go along with it. I'm not here to judge. Anyway, Captain Cork, how are you today? Oh, I'm very good. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on the show. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Captain Cork, you're a space-time traveler. Can you explain that to us? Like space-time traveler. It sounds pretty fantastic. Yes, well, let me explain that. I'm a space-time traveler like you are. You might you're just not aware of it. You're a time traveler. And you might not know it, but you're also a captain of your own ship, and your ship is your vessel, is your body. Now, you don't have to think like me, but I've been around for many years, many centuries, and even eons since time begun. I've been here. I've been always doing this, and every day I'm traveling through another space, on another operation, on another mission, in another time. But I've always found that no matter where I go, somehow there I am. And so I'm Captain Cork, space-time traveler, and I'm the captain of my vessel. And so I do. I have developed a philosophy, and if you want, I can share most of it, because most of it, if you listen to me long enough, it all comes back to the one thing. It's all the same. I just use a different analogy to talk about the same one thing. All right. Well, thank you very much, Captain Cork, for coming on with us today. It's sure interesting to have a space-time traveler like you, and that's a unique perspective. So you're saying that I am a space-time traveler, being a soul with a berth on a vessel. Is that what you're saying? Well, yes, that's absolutely correct. You know, if you're a mariner, you would know that we count the souls on the ship, and if you are on the ship, and if you have a position as a first mate, second, third, or captain, you have what's called the berth, and that's the language we use in navigational operations. That's it's very interesting, Captain Cork. So you're saying that the maritime speech, maritime names, the way we name things. So a soul is like the number of a person on a ship. Yes, and another thing I want to point out is very important. If you want a berth on a ship, in other words, if you want a job on a ship to scrub the deck, or if you want to get into navigating courses, from here to there, you're going to have to know how to sing. If you can't sing, this is number one rule. If you can't sing, you can't work on a ship. And so why is that, Captain Cork? Is there like an operational purpose behind like singing? Why do I have to sing? Not everybody can sing. Well, I think that's a lot of baloney. Everybody can sing. You just have to dig in there and pull it out. If you can speak, if you can breathe, you can sing. Trust me, you can sing. And if you need to sing to survive, you're going to sing. Let me tell you. Singing is about bringing everybody together in a rhythm, into an operational mind. You see, when we're working on a ship, we depend that everybody is in sync. We can't afford to have anybody out of step. If you're out of step on a ship, where it could get very rough, and we need everybody to be in step, and all of the operations needs to go smoothly, see. And in doing that, a lot of times we sing. We sing what's called sea shanties. I'm sure you've heard sea shanties over the internet. Some of them have been quite entertaining, but the sea shanty is a rhythmic jig. Say they're a jig because they're 3 counts per bar. You see, a jig is 3 and a reel is 4. A jig is like, say, the Rocky Road to Dublin is a good one, and I won't sing that because we'll have people leaving the podcast. But singing is a very important part of being on a ship. Now, being on a ship of yourself as well, you should also sing. Every morning you should sing, and you should sing throughout the day, and you should sing in the evening before you go to bed. I can't disagree with you there, Captain Cork. I think that singing is very it does change the chemistry of your body depending on what kind of song you're singing, of course. Well, no, Greg, you pointed out a very important thing there. Not all songs are to be sung. We have to choose our songs according to the time and place and space. And so, at sunrise, typically, on the day, we're typically singing a certain kind of song. And this is about the subconscious memory of navigation. I won't get into that with you because I don't want to, say, confuse the listeners. But the songs are measured in time. And we'll get into that because I will show you on the chart of, you see, when we're traveling, depending on what degree we're going, we'll sing with the degree, you see. We'll sing with the degree and we'll sing in the time and space of the degree which we're following the sun. And everything's going to come together in this podcast to show you that we have in our navigational systems what's called coherence. This is where all the angles connect, and this is where all the dots are connected. Well, thank you very much, Captain Cork. This is going to be a very exciting podcast because I've never heard these perspectives before, and from a person like yourself who has lived in an era where, you know, all of the world agreed that the earth was flat, and then all of a sudden it changed. And now most of us, I'm assuming, although when I go out, I'm meeting more and more flat earthers every day. And I'm wondering why. And so, can you tell me why is it that you still believe the earth is flat, even though science has moved on? We've made new discoveries, and why do you still follow those old ways, Captain Cork? Well, you see, Greg, you've just pointed it out, and you've actually said it, but I'll say it again in a different form. But you're going to understand that what you've just said is why I am still a flat earther, because I am a flat earther out of operations. Now, you see, when I chart a course, I don't chart on a spinning ball. It's got to be a flat, stable surface. Now, you see, regardless of what is known today about the cosmos, you see, we are still using flat maps. We're still using degrees. Our degrees, when we're going from A to Z, it goes straight, it goes flat. If you're on the water, you're going flat. It's not applicable to account for what they say is an 8-inch square, I believe, on a mile. It has no bearing in sea travel. So you have to understand, I have not had the time to wrap my head around the spinning balls or the Copernicus theories. I've just not. Every day I'm engaged, you see, in navigating across a flat foam. Do you see what I'm saying? See, if I'm going from St. John's, Newfoundland, over to Scotland or England, even Ireland, I use what's called the parallel rule and my Celtic cross. Now I've been carrying my Celtic cross for years and years. I've still got the same bloody cross, and I don't say that to be a profanity. But like I said, upon my Celtic cross, there's a lot of sweat, there's a lot of tears, and there's a lot of blood as well. And it has been my savior, because it's kept me on course throughout all my voyages. Even today, my course is plotted, and I've plotted it this morning before I woke up, actually. And it's interesting, because I've got these presets in my subconscious wheelhouse, and so I know Wednesday morning I'm going to get up and I'm going on a set of degrees. Now, these sets of degrees are going to follow the tones of the sun. By day, I have to use the sun to travel, and I'm traveling, you see, through tone. I'm traveling through singing. You see, if you look up in the heavens, they say, you see signs. Now, if you understand what an anagram is, you understand what an anagram is, Greg? Yes, an anagram is a word that you can take and you can change the letters around and make a different meaning. An anagram, yes? Yes, that's exactly right. A sign, for example, sings. So in your Christian Bible, they say that the angels sing, yes? Well, you see, in navigational terms, the angels are the angles of the circle, and they sing, or the sign. They're in a sign. So we assign the angles to the names that's in the chart. It's around the degrees, you see. So it's a science of operation. That's all I can say. It's not about trying to sound fancy. It's about survival. It's about going from here to there with a sound mind. You see, having a sound mind is not just a cliche. It's an operation. It's an operation that we're practicing every day. And so, would you like to go now and look at one of my charts? Yes, Captain Cork, that would be wonderful. So what are we looking at today here? All right. Well, you can see there's a chart actually in front of you. And I'm going to show you the Celtic cross, or the Rolls cross, as it's become to known in navigational terms. Now, my father taught me how to navigate. My father was a navigational master mariner. So was my grandfather, and so was his father. Now we've got a couple of in our bloodline that worked on the railway, but that's fine. They're still navigating. See. Now, if you look here, you can see this circle with you can see there's a little emblem or symbol on the top. Now this is pointing to the North Star. And you see the circle around it. It's full of degrees. And of course, we go to the signs. And the signs are going to sing. Now we go around, we go out, we're going to find the degrees. Now we use something that's called the parallel rule in conjunction with the Celtic cross. Now the Celtic cross is always going to point to either the North Star if we're traveling by night, and by day we're always cognate of where the sun is. We have to know where the sun is in the sign, where the sun is singing. You see, the sun in navigational terms, see, we count in the base of 6, and this is another thing that modern day man doesn't quite realize, that 360 degrees of a circle is about the base 6, and that's about what is above is below. So that base 6 is we have the calculators in our hands. You see, if you're out on the sea, you don't have too much room to carry too much stuff around. So you have to have your tools got to be on you. So you got your Celtic crosses around your neck, right? You got your hand, that's where you're counting, because you got the wheel in your hand. You know, you're at the helm, you're trying to keep the ship on course. And so you're looking at the stars, and you don't want to be looking around. Where's my darn calculator? Oh, there it is. It's the hand itself, right? So you're counting the phalanges on your hand. You got 12 phalanges times 5 fingers. If I see a finger is what? It's a digit, isn't it? A finger is a digit. So we're counting on our hands. We've got our Celtic cross. We take the Celtic cross off. It's an operation, and it's quick. You can do it. You can say pinpoint the North Star, or certainly the sun is very visible, and even on a cloudy day, you can see the sun, the intensity of the sun. Now there's tricks that we've got with the Celtic cross, because of course it's a space. It measures space. It measures time. It also, believe it or not, it measures tone. Now you see, if I'm moving from any point on the geography or on the geometry, you see, geometrics is about the metrics or the measures of the geo. And so it's no mistake that your own vessel, that your body, that your mind is made like the geo, and it's measured like the geo. So in a sense of above and below and within and throughout, your mind has geometrics. So, talking about traveling in time, when we're following the sun, you see, our hours is not like modern day hours. We didn't have clocks, mechanical clocks that divided the hours equally. And that's a key to our success. From daylight to dark, we divided 12. Now on the equinox, we divide 12 equally. Equal night, equal day. This is the equinox. You see what I'm saying? I'm following it. Actually, I'm understanding this. I really am understanding that. So you're saying that you're a flat earther out of operations. You're not a flat earther because out of conformity to the way that modern day people think. You see, Greg, that's a good point. You just pointed out conformity to consensus, to the mind. You see, look, you have to understand this. The consensus of the mind aboard a ship. You see, we're almost like, not almost, but we're a psychic group. That when we're all in step, when we're all in the rhythm, when we're all in a sound mind, we're like a pack of wolves. You see, we can smell each other. Can you imagine a bunch of ugly men out on a ship for days on end without washing? We can smell each other, but we can also feel each other, in a way that we understand we can work as one body. And this is what meant this meant survival, being psychic as a whole on a ship. Do you see what I'm saying? So we're sound mind together as one on the ship, singing our sea shanties, following the sun. See, the sun is a tonal dial marker, I should say. So we have our ways. And so the method, our meditations, is to be one in all. To see the power in our numbers is to bring that number that is divided amongst the crew back to one. And therefore, our chances of survival, of going from here to there and weathering storms and getting through it, meant that we had to be one mind. In order to do that, we couldn't be divided, and we couldn't be spinning around. We couldn't be, confused by the heliocentric system, because it didn't work on the ship. So we never really got into the methods of the Copernicus. There's actually no navigational method in the Copernicus system. We're still traveling by flat maps. The only problem is we're disconnected through the signs, and they've disconnected us through the signs. Captain Cork, I have to stop you there, because you just said something that I think everybody has missed. See, Greg, I'm reading your mind. You can imagine I'm in your mind right now, you see. I'm feeling you, Captain Cork. I'm understanding what you're saying. So you're saying that because the world is divided in conflict, our survival rate is lessened, because we're not able to attune to each other and to, say, unlock our survival instincts. Like are you saying that we have like a default system where we just know our intuition can be attuned, we can sharpen our senses? Like, is that what you're saying? Yes, Greg, and it's simple as that. We can go on and on about it, but you see, once you tune into that, once you tap into that, you see, there's one fella out there now. He's considered a heretic, Rupert Sheldrake. He's talking about the morphic field, and so he's using modern day terms to coin a very old sacred knowledge. That when we're all on the same course, when we're all on the same degree, when we're reading the signs as singers, you see, that's where we begin to remember our names. You don't know it, you see, but it's in the degrees of your mind, or where the angels or where the angles are, because you're a tonal being. You're a tonal being that's navigating within a ship. Now you see, there's an inversion of your own vessel that you experience as your body. If you look at your body as a vessel that's traveling time space, the inversion is this: if I'm going to go out on an Earth ship today in the water, no, right? You see that the Earth ship made of wood is floating on the water, is displacing according to the physics of the weight and the size of the ship and so on and so forth. But see, your body, as your human body, as that vessel, is holding water. As the other ship, of course, is watertight. Water can't get in. But your body is holding water. Water can't get out. You sweat your water. But and of course, you're using the water, the energy that is contained in the water. You're using up that energy throughout your day. So there's charge and discharge, and these are other matters that we can talk about in other interviews, because I'm more than happy to come along and share with you the science. It's very old science, and it's not complicated science, and that's the thing. It only becomes complicated when you begin to complicate the maps and the navigational system. But you see, we haven't complicated our navigational systems, not as time-space ancient travelers. We're still using the flat Earth calculation methods. And so in this method of keeping the mind sound, we just keep moving along, singing our song every day. See? And there's a simple science behind it. Now, if you look into this map here, if you can see it, you can begin to see the geometry with all in these lines here. You see? You can see an equilateral triangle. You can see in this map, and we don't have to go to any other maps. You can see a Star of David. You can see the pentagram. You can see all of them in there, because all of the angles that you're seeing arrayed around what we call the Rhodes crosses. See? They're positioned every once in a while on the map. And this is to bridge. See, we use the parallel rule to go from one to the other to get our degrees, to understand the degrees of how we're traveling with the vessel. Do you get that, Greg? You understand what I'm saying now? Captain Cork, I'm actually I'm floored. You know, so flat Earth is not about arguing with science. It's about just maintaining your course, and it's about keeping things simple. Is that how it is? Greg, you've nailed it. Now, I'm saying nailed it because when we're on point, we're nailing it to the cross, okay? And there was another thing I want to talk about. Your words that you're using now in the English language, and how the English language is designed. The English language was designed amongst a group of sailors, navigators. And you see, look, we're psychic. We're able to feed off one another. So our words are not, the words themselves are navigational tools. You understand what I'm saying, Greg? Your cross is, you see, same degree as the word point. Okay? So when you nail your cross, when you nail your awareness, you're nailing your energy upon the cross. What you're doing is you're stabilizing your point of reference. And from your point of reference, you're stable. And you're parallel. It's how we're drawing upon a sound mind. So if you're going to go forward now today, I'd like for you to nail your awareness on the cross, and I'd want you to maintain your course throughout the day. The sun's going to go from the horizon, from beginning to end, and each day now it's going to gain a degree. Not exactly, but as we come to the four corners of the flat Earth in space-time, we're going to come to the next one now, summer solstice. And this is the second corner that we're going to adjust our Celtic cross. See, every day now we're going to move our sun on the Celtic cross, and that sun is going to mark where we're singing. See, where the angels. See, the angels in the traditional mystical sense are messengers. See, we're using our messengers, and we're staying with our messengers. See, do you understand? It's not complicated, but it is complicated if you complicate it yourself. You know, so don't think if you're going to go navigating, don't think that we're navigating around a ball, because we're not. We're still navigating on the flat. We're still navigating using the same degrees as we usually did. The only gap that's created is the heliocentric Copernicus system, and that actually divides us psychically, where we're disconnected from each other, and we're not in communion with each other in our natural order. So if you want to know the truth, Greg, from an ancient sailor of space-time experience, it's best to keep things simple. I'm not saying that the Earth is not spinning. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, if you look at the Weather Channel to see what time the sun's rising, it says the sun's rising. Yes. Yes. We are still speaking as well from the flat earth, from the Chaldean order of time. And so we're still measuring the sunrise and sunset. We're still doing that. But you see, there's a bit of a cover-up. Why? I don't know. It could be just because of the arrogance and stupidity of people. They're always trying to reinvent the wheel, but you know what? I just said something now. It's not a cliche. You can't keep reinventing the wheel. You'd see the wheel is 360 degrees. And the spoke of a wheel, you see, I speak as a spoke upon the wheel. My speech is like a sign. I sing my spokes. Do you understand that? Isn't that simple enough? All right? So let's just call it as it is. The hang-ashores are, if I would say it like a true maritimer, the hang-ashores are, they got to be on the ball. But you see, the seafarers, the mariners, the navigating, we're on the flat. We're flat out. And we're following our degrees by the tones laid out by the sun. So that's it. That's all. Thank you very much for having me on today, Greg. That was a great conversation. I look forward to more, actually. Captain Cork, I don't know what to say. You know what? I hope that we get some comments here on this, and I hope that, wow, like, I want to talk to you again, man. Like this was great. Like I don't have lots to think about today. I have less to think about today because I've simplified where I'm going. Thank you very much, man. That was awesome. Or thank you, sir. Thank you, Captain Cork. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. That was Flat Earth from Captain Cork's perspective, from an ancient mariner. What can I say? That was awesome. Thank you. All right, Greg. Thank you very much. We'll see you again. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.